All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing this word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Pushing to get up out there, shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. All right, and what I want to go into, all right, this morning, we're dealing with faith, is an action. Faith is an action, which faith is a word, that get thrown around, in this society. All right, but the true faith, well, first of all, having faith requires understanding, and if we don't have an understanding of what we believe, there's no way we can have real faith. When the scriptures speak about the faith, of Abraham, well, first off, what did Abraham believe in the promises given to him by the Father? Okay, before he was, commanded to sacrifice Isaac, where he was told, all right, that his descendants were going to become a great nation. The kings was going to come out of him. Okay? The Lord promised him global rulership, a dominion, a dynasty. Okay? An everlasting dynasty, man, in the earth. Okay? That was the faith of Abraham. You see? And for him to have the faith to be ready to destroy his only heir at the time, well, that showed complete faith, all right, in the Heavenly Father, that he can do anything, that he is. That anything is possible through him because he said that he's going to do it. Okay? Because on the carnal level, there's no way that Abraham, could be the father of all these people if he doesn't even have a seed. You see? And it's through Isaac that the Lord promised that he will become, the father of many people, many nations, which is the tribes. Okay, those company of nations. Okay, so we have, going back to Abraham, that blind faith, not being able to see, a practical way, but understanding that he is. And we coming into the times we're just gonna have to believe that he is. Okay, it's gonna be things that don't make sense in the flesh. Okay, but we have the understanding of prophecy to know, okay, he said he gonna do this, man. And this is an example of that type of faith when you go into the book of Mark chapter 12 and verse 41. It says, and Yahweh Shah set over against the treasury and beheld, all right, and beheld how the people cast money into the treasury, and many that were rich cast in much. And there came a certain poor widow, and she threw in 2 mites, making a farthing. And he called unto his disciples and said unto them, verily I say unto you, that this poor widow has cast more in than all they which have cast into the treasury. Okay? Now when you read verse 44, it says, for all they did cast in of their abundance. Okay? When you read in NLT, it says, for they gave, all right, a tiny part of their surplus, but the poor, all right, but she, poor as she is, has given everything she had to live on. Has given everything she had to live on. Now, this doesn't mean, at the end of the video, you go clear out your saving account, and pay it in tithes. That's not the moral of the story. It goes into her mindset. She had a mindset of complete faith. Whatever her situation was at the moment, she had complete faith in Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. She gave her everything, all right, and left it up to the Lord. That was her current situation. She was like, well, look, I just got this. Let me just give everything and just give it to the Lord on how I'm going to make it. So she had complete faith in her power. She was unwavering. She put her life in the hands of the Lord. We come to the times where we're going to have to put our life in the hands of the Lord. See, there's a time when we're going to have that faith like this woman. You see? Because when we come to the times of when they mandate this MOTB, we're going to be in a situation to where, hey, we're going to put our life in the hands of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We're going to have to believe with no question, with no doubt. You see? That's why when you go here, our faith is going to have to be shown in action. And the Lord constantly puts us in position to show, faith through action, man. Our decision making shows our faith, man. Our daily decision making, it shows the faith. Our actions show our faith. Our daily decision making, the things that we do, the things that we sacrifice, all right, the time that we invest, man, that shows faith, man. Faith is a thing of action, man. Okay? And the ultimate faith is going to be leaving this world behind and leaving it all, forsaking what we know is life in this world and fully trusting in our power, because we come into a great transition. Okay? Well, we're not going to have the ability, to pay bills and, go to work. No, we're going to completely trust in our power, because paying bills and going to work is going to require bending the knee. Okay? So when you go here to the book of let's get this, the book of James chapter 2 verse 14, and read a few verses in NLT. This is James 2 and 14. It says, "What good is it, dear brothers and sisters, if you say you have faith but don't show it by your actions? Can that kind of faith save anyone?" Because we know we're saved by faith, but that faith is going to have to be some action behind the faith that we profess. Okay? That empty faith of just saying I got faith with no action. You see? Because the MOTB mandate is going to require action, man. Okay? It's going to require action. It's going to require leaving this world behind. Okay? It's going to require making ourselves vulnerable to where we can't, like I said, we're not going to be able to pay bills, man. Okay? We're not going to be able to keep these possessions. We're not going to be providers. Okay? The Lord going to have to provide us with everything in these times to come. You see? And that's going to take action. Okay? So when you keep reading, it says, suppose you see a brother or sister who has no food or clothing, and you say goodbye and have a good day, stay warm and eat, but then you don't give that person any food or clothing, what good did that do? So someone, was in need, and you just said, well, I have faith the Lord going to take care of you, and you have the means to help out the situation. Well, no, you should, there was no action behind it. If you got the means, to help. Okay? No, it has to be action behind the faith. Because it takes faith to understand that the Lord puts us in position to help, in certain situations, man. You see? So just having, faith or just expressing faith verbally, well, that only goes so far. Okay? True faith is shown in actions. Okay? Verse 17 says, so you see, faith by itself isn't enough unless it produces, all right, I'm for verse 17 in the KJV. It said, even so faith, if it have no works, is dead being alone. Okay? So just saying we believe, but we're not out here, we're not reading, we're not praying, we're not fasting, we're not, researching, we're not being brotherly. But just saying we believe, that's dead by itself, man. We believe the Lord is coming back, but we're not teaching. We're not laboring. We're not helping the men that are teaching. Okay, we're not doing nothing, that shows our faith. No, man, faith without works, with no action behind it, is dead. You see? Brothers, hey, brothers have their spiritual regimens, and you see, everything that we do is based on faith, man. Everything, all right, it get to a point to everything that we do is geared towards our faith. Okay? As we, mature in the spirit, everything begins to be centered around our belief and our faith, man. Our decision making is geared towards the world to come, not this current world. Okay? Becoming dead to this world and alive in Yahushua. So when you keep reading, it says, verse 18 says, "Yeah, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy works with show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works." Okay? So our actions show what we believe in. If a nigga think he going to the NFL, his actions gonna show it. If he really has faith in that, man, he's gonna be tapped into that world. Nigga want to be the best boxer. Niggas tap in to their faith. Everybody taps into their faith, man. Whatever it is, it could be something minute. It could be something foolish. Okay, but what you believe in, okay, shows by your works. Okay, your works show what you believe in. Your decision making, your mindset shows what you believe in. You can't hide it. Okay. Our actions show what we really about. Our patterns. You see, one thing people can't hide is their patterns, man. You see, your patterns really show, all right, what you believe in. That's what really show what we believe in is these patterns, man. Okay, you can act the scene. Okay, but one thing no one can hide is patterns. Okay. So let's go from there because it's about being kept. In these times, it's going to Revelation 3. It's the book of Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience." Okay? And to keep, that's the action. How do you keep the word of the Lord's patience? Okay? Which is faith. You see, we're separated from this world, laboring in this work. You see, sacrificing, man, daily commitments and sacrifice. That's keeping the Lord's word of his patience. Doing these things patiently because we don't know exactly when. We know we close, but through faith we keep working, we keep grinding. Okay, we don't have a clear end date on the family of the word. We don't have a clear indication when it's gonna be. We don't have a set date. I want to say there's not a set date on the family of the word. We just keep teaching, man. There's not a set date on the return of Yahushua. We just keep teaching, man, through faith, knowing that eventually it's gonna happen. You see, and that's keeping the word of the Lord's patient, man. Because patient means to suffer. Okay, until you get your desired outcome. Okay? So we're in the spirit of suffering till we get that desired outcome. It says, because you have obeyed, Revelation 3 and 12 says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. To try them that dwell upon the earth, man. It's going to be a global tribulation. It's going to be a global mandate that goes forth. It's MOTB. Okay? Verse 11, "Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown." So hold fast to that faith. Hold fast to the belief of the victory in Yahushua. The victory in He is. That's what we're to hold fast to. Okay? So in the worst times ever, we gotta hold on to the belief that we got a victory, man. In our most uncomfortable situations, we gotta believe that He is. Okay? And that favor is going to kick in. See, it's the hope and the favor that's going to give us the spirit to suffer, man. To be uncomfortable, to go without. Okay? To leave this world behind. You see? It's because that's us jumping into the mercy of the Lord through faith. You see? So now, man, we coming into some times where our faith, is going to take major action. The Lord's going to up the ante. You see? To where we're going to have to really, trust in Him, and really leave everything, man. Okay, matter of fact, let's get this real quick. In the book of Second Esdras. Get this real quick. So you go to the book of Second Esdras, because this is, we'll have the faith. We want to have the faith of that Israelite woman that gave 2 mites. Okay, so when you go to Second Esdras 16 and 40, it says, "O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle." And the battle is going to be a battle of faith, man. To keep our faith in the midst of the chaos and the tribulation, man. Okay? It says, "In those evils," see that? "Be even as pilgrims upon the earth. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. And he that buyeth is one that will lose. He that occupy merchandise is he that have no profit by it. And he that buildeth is he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he should not reap. So also he that planteth the vineyard is he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widows, and therefore they that labor in vain." Yes, so it's going to have to come a time where we're going to have to completely walk away from everything, man. We're going to have to give our life as an offering, our livelihoods, our lifestyles as an offering to the Lord. Okay, we're going to give our convenience. You see? All those things, you have to give all those things up. Okay? In hopes of, the favor of the Lord kicking in. You see? So, that's the point. Just want to get into that Lord will. You brothers and you few sisters edified. Till next time, I say Shalom. Kwam Yashala. Abba soon. Shalom.